What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, the Chevrolet Cobalt. This one was modded in by Payne, a commission by a lovely gentleman called Kingslowpoke. Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad you commissioned this, Mr. Slowpoke. Not bad condition. We did pick it up from the auction house where, I'll be honest, we got massively ripped off. Absolutely huge on this one. 31,217 I paid for this car, and I could sell it for 25,441, losing 5,776. Hoping I can rectify that by the end of today's video by upgrading it. It has got in the i4 double overhead cam BFM engine. That is the engine we are going to be leaving in that one today. We're just going to be upgrading it, modifying it, pitting all the performance parts on it, painting it, making it look awesome. Well, at least that's the plan, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Anyway, this is what we're going to be working on. It is a little bit of a beauty car. There is a lot going on with this one. It is an excellent start. It's not very dusty, but we're still going to take it over to the car wash and get it cleaned anyway. Here we go then, at the car wash. Now, we obviously know it's not that dirty, but we're still going to get it cleaned. So let's get you fully cleaned there, hopefully looking pretty nice. That is a very deep red. That's quite a nice looking red, but it's not what we're going to stick with. I have a special livery for today given to me by Mr. and Mrs. Kingslowpoke. Thank you very much, guys. I'll talk more about that when we come to the livery in a bit. Let's get this one back on the lift. Let's get that engine ripped out and start stripping everything down. First things first, let's see if that oil pan is in there. Yes, it is. I couldn't quite see it there. Everything was a bit of a funny angle, but never mind. It is in there. Let's get you drained. Out you come. That is very black, very dark oil, and a lot of it, so it definitely needed changing. But let's get up on inside here. This is, I believe, a front-wheel drive car. It does look like it. It does look like we're missing the drive axles. I probably can't check, because we are also missing the wheel hub bearings by the looks of that. Yeah. Anyway, so we want to get this gearbox out, so we have to start with the front drive shaft, and the starter has to be done from the engine bay. I always forget that. I'll be back in just a moment. There we go then, I've got the starter out. Let's get this gearbox out. Out you come, lovely shiny gearbox. It is pretty shiny for a rubbish gearbox. There we go, and we'll grab that front exhaust section just to be on the safe side. But let's get this car back on the ground. Let's get the crane over and get this engine ripped out so we can start stripping down this beautiful little engine bay. So out you come. Nice, I did get everything. Get you put away. Let's have a look what we've got in here then. It is looking pretty packed in here. So we've got the air filter, we've got a radiator, we do have a medium intercooler down there as well, power steering reservoir, wishy-washy reservoir, the coolant reservoir, a fuse box, battery, brake servo, ECU, and the ABS pump and a module up there. Let's go down the back. We need to get that fuel pump out. Now, I have noticed something cool on this. The exhaust only comes to here, but this part here, you can just see the outline of it running through to the end, is part of the bodywork. So that is part of the bodywork. It is connected. Honestly, trust me, it looks pretty good as well. So let's move on. We need to get all the liquids drained out of this engine bay. Let's find a nice little spot here. Will do. Additional tools, a drain tool, click and hold. I'll be back in just a moment. That's all the liquids drained. It's time to start stripping this out. I'm going to start with the air filter cover because this is the bolt-on one, so I don't get to paint my clips, which is a bit unfortunate because that is something I do enjoy in this game. Let's get this radiator and its fan housing kit out. Out you come. Do this when we're underneath the car in just a little while. Get all of these coolant reservoirs out and stuff like that. Brake servo, ECU. Get that battery out. Throw that one on charge in just a minute before we go and do that engine. Out with the ABS module and the ABS pump. Didn't mean to zoom in on there. And we'll just quickly check out this fuse box. It's got the lid on, so it looks complete. There is quite a bit in there. There's quite a lot going on. But now we need to get down and check underneath. Now, there are no wheels on this, so I'm already under the assumption that there is loads missing. So let's have a look. Lower suspension arm and obviously two bearing bushings on there. I forgot what they were called. Brake caliper. We've got the brake pad, but we do need the pin for that. And we are missing the hub bearing, the inner and outer tie rods. But we do have the shock, so that's a good sign. Over on this other side, same again. We're missing the lower suspension arm and both the bushings. The hub bearing. We do have the brake caliper. Sway bar end link is missing. The tie rods are both there. Do I have the sway bar end link? I do. So that's not too bad, but obviously missing... no, we won't be missing the hubcaps because they're drive axles. So forget that. Forget I even tried to mention that. Let's go down the back and see what we've got missing down here. I'm going to jump over this side because it does look like quite a lot. So we have another brake caliper missing. We have a shock absorber, suspension arm. We've got all the shock there. Another arm, 3 of the arms, brake caliper, and the hub bearing. And I don't know if this one has... the hub cap. The hub bearing is in, so that's a good sign. Where's the sway bar end link is there. Let's check over the other side. Now, this side looks a lot more complete because it's allowing me to put the wheel on. So all we're missing on this side is the shock. Oh, there we go. This whole arm and the entire spring setup there, along with a little bearing in there and a lower arm there. I don't know why this one lets me put the wheel on. Maybe it's just because the hub is complete with the hub bearing and stuff like that. But never mind. Let's crack on. I will come and get all of this stripped in just a minute. That's the wrong button. There we go. But next up, we're going to go strip that engine in the other room and get the battery on charge en route. I'm going to finish this fuse box. Words are eluding me today. And I'll meet you in there in just a moment. That's everything stripped off the Chevrolet Cobalt. I know it doesn't look like it, but that exhaust piece, as I already mentioned, is part of the bodywork. But let's go through, let's throw our battery on charge, and let's get this beautiful little inline-4 engine stripped down. Let's start down here with an idle roller. Get this belt off, and then we'll grab all of these front pieces here off. Out you come. Out. Oh, God, out. Can't use the game today. Out with the alternator, out with the power steering pump. We'll grab that oil filter while we're here as well. Get this timing cover off with its one rusty bolt just at the top there. Oh, that's not a bolt. That's part of my oil dipstick. There we go. Wrong words. Belt tensioner, another roller. Oh, can't get the roller off till we got the belt off. There we go. Another 2 rollers. There's that one. There's this one. And then we got the water pump. Yes. Out you come as well. And then we should be able to grab this cam gear. Off you come. Nicely, nicely. Let's have a look what we've got over here then. The throttle with 1 rusty bolt. Let's get you out of the way. Off you come. Now, I know I have worked on this engine before. French Toast suggested it for a video to show it was quite a good engine. So we're going to come back to that one today. Let's get these fuel injectors out. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some good speed out of this Chevrolet Cobalt on the speed track. We've got fuel filter. Oh, and the one I always forget is the rear timing cover with its timing chain and its cam gears. Out you come. I forgot you were bolted in. Grab that chain. Grab the other cam gear. Nicely, nicely. Then we've got all these ignition coils off the top. Out you come. I missed one. There we go. And let's get this engine head cover off. See what we've got going on underneath. See this camshaft in here. Or camshaft, should I say. It is 2. There you go. So we got... 4 on each side camshaft caps, so we need to get all of them out. I won't make you sit and watch. I'll also grab all of these spark plugs while I'm here as well, so I'll be back in just a second. Cam gears and spark plugs all out. Let's grab these camshafts. Out you come, and then what do we need? We need to grab this turbo off of here. Out you come. Let's get you unbolted. I do love a good turbo engine, as I'm sure you know if you watch this channel quite regularly. Out with this exhaust manifold, and then it should just be easily off with the engine head. No bolts as well. Bit weird. Never mind. Let's grab this oil pan off, see what we've got going on down here, and then I'll get everything else repaired. So we know it already. It is a 4 pistons inline, hence an inline 4 engine. All of the camshaft caps and the crankshaft bearings, camshaft caps, rod caps, and then we'll grab all of this gearbox stuff off as well. So I'll get all this finished, going to repair some stuff, and then we'll start stripping that body before we go over to the paint shop and check out the liveries that I'm going to be using today. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on this beautiful little Chevrolet Cobalt. But first, we need to get this body completely stripped down. So let's just jump in and start. This is my first time actually properly working on this car, so let's just figure out where everything goes. There's all some very simple parts. Let's have a look down here. We've got side skirts. They are on there. We've got any windows in. Doesn't look like it. Let's take this trunk out. Oh, there we go. Spoiler came with it as well. I wasn't sure it was going to there. Rear bumper. Couple of lights in here, nice looking lights, I'll give them that. Let's have a look. Oh, window there, another side skirt, another side skirt. That looks to be everything. Let's jump in and get this interior out. Let's go to you, out with the steering wheel and out with the seats. Out you come, back into normal mode. Now I think that's everything, but let's just check. 2%, so I'm definitely missing something. What am I missing? Car part 2, I've talked about it a couple of times already and I completely missed it. The exhaust, obviously. What an idiot, but never mind. Let's jump back in and let's just double check that. Down to nothing, down to 1%. Fantastic. Let's go and grab the welder. Let's bring you over. Now, obviously, I way overpaid for this car, like $35,000 today. It was in pretty bad condition, so I'm going to say 2,000, 1,300. Still not very good at this. Occasionally I work them out and get them right, but not very often. Let's jump into the shop and let's have a look at all the body panel options we've got for the Cobalt. Let's have a look in here. So straight off, we've got 3 different exhausts. What is wrong with me? 3 different spoilers. There we go. I don't... Oh, these are the exhausts. I see. These are the exhausts. So a few different exhaust options. Twin exhausts. Oh, that's quite nice. Only used with specific bumpers, though, so do make sure you read these. They work with A, B, and C rear bumpers. They are D and F, so on and so forth. Make sure you read them. Pay attention to what's going on. Lots of different front bumper options. This is going to be fun to play around with. I might spend a little time with this. A couple of door options. I'll see what the difference is between those. Let's move along. A couple of hoods, obviously carbon fiber ones with a scoop, or not a scoop, an inverted scoop that looks like from here. What else have we got? Here's the options for the rear bumpers. So make sure you use the right exhaust tips to go with the specific bumpers. A couple of side skirts. Take that back. A lot of side skirts that you can choose from there. A few trunk pieces to go from. A lovely little carbon fiber one there. Let's have... Oh, and that's the last page. So it's not too bad. There's still quite a lot. I'm very happy with the choices we've got to play around with this one. We can make it look very personal today. So I'm going to be busy playing around with that. I'm probably not going to repair anything I've taken off of this car. I'm just going to buy what I need, scrap off all of this. And then rear seats. Oh, yeah, no, they were part of the car. So I'm going to crack on with this. That body's all repaired. I'll see you back here in just a minute when we get it all put back together. I think I've bought everything or repaired everything. I did repair a couple of bits, but not many. So let's jump in and find out before we head over to the paint shop. Now, first of all, I swapped the hood out to the RK Sport hood with its little vent there. You can just see it shining through, looking pretty smart. Front bumper, I went for the Razzie ground effects. Looking pretty cool. I quite like these little extra lights in here and just the way it looks like it's got a bit of a smile on its face. Headlights I did manage to repair, so back in with them along with this fender as well. Nicely done. On we go. I did buy both doors, so I know the difference. One comes with an SS badge down on the bottom and one doesn't. That is the only difference. I've gone for the ones with the SS badge. Let's get these windows in real quick. Over you go, over you go, over you go, and we'll get the mirrors on, because you can't opt for anything else on them. Left fender, or side skirts, I kept with the Razzie ground effects because, well, hopefully the styling carries on down through. It does a little bit. It looks pretty smart. We'll go around and we'll get the other side done. In you go, on you go, on you go, in you go, and then on with that Razzie side skirt. There we go. Let's get the window in. For the trunk, I went for debadged apart from the Chevrolet logo. There's a few different options. One with Cobalt SS, you know, different things written in different places. One without any badges and a carbon fiber one. I like the Chevrolet badge, so I'm keeping that one on there. The rear bumper, I went for the Razzie ground effects, which only has two exhaust options. I went for this one here. It looks shinier. Nice little chrome exhaust tips just poking out through there, looking quite smart. And I kept the spoiler that was originally on it. It looks the best, in my opinion, out of the three options you've got. Let's just get these bits in and on. Onto the license plate now, because most of what I've done today has been bought or commissioned by Kingslowpoke. This is going to be King's SS. There it is. Kingslowpoke's SS, looking quite cool on the plates there. Get the front ones on as well. In we go. So thank you very much to Kingslowpoke, one, for commissioning this car in the first place, and two, for getting the liveries that I'm about to show you. Oh, there we go. It is the right seats that I'm about to show you when we finish this and head over to the paint shop. So let's have a look. Is this all complete? 100%, 100%, 100%. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get over to the paint shop and check out the livery I will be using today, along with one bonus other livery. Here we are then, with the Chevrolet Cobalt. It's got a base gloss white, lovely paint job on it at the moment. Let's check out the liveries. Now, both of these were bought by Kingslowpoke and Mrs. Kingslowpoke, so thank you very much to you two. First one by Kingslowpoke. He wanted the Most Wanted livery, but in pink. Well done. Oh, we need to change this to metallic, really, don't we, to give it its full effect? There we go. That's what Kingslowpoke wanted, and his wife was like, well, seriously, if you're going to get the Most Wanted livery, at least get it in the correct colour. So she wanted the blue one. There we go. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I know that it was the two of them that wanted them, but it looks pretty cool. We will be going with this beautiful blue. This is the Most Wanted livery, adapted by French Toast for this Chevrolet Cobalt, ordered by Kingslowpoke. So that is what we'll be working on today. As for the colours in the engines, well, we've got some lovely metallic sort of silveries to go on here. A couple of metallic blues that we could go in, along with black. There is plenty of black dotted around this one. The spoiler's black. You've got black around the windows there. So plenty of black to match into. Should look pretty cool. Well, that's what we're going with today. Looking awesome. Thank you very much, Kingslowpoke, for allowing me to use this beautiful livery. Sadly, this livery is not available anywhere. I will not be giving it out to anybody because it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Kingslowpoke. So thank you very much for allowing me to use it. Let's get it on here. I've got a few bits to paint to try and match all of this up, so I will see you back on the lifter in just a couple of moments. That's everything painted and ready to go back on the Cobalt. Let's get these springs back together. I've gone for that silvery grey colour on the shocks with blue on the springs. Looking pretty good. Hopefully it matching the car. We shall see in just a minute. Let's get them on along with all the other bits there. As you can see, I've already got all the non-painted parts back in. So the cross member is in the blue. Might be a little bit darker, that blue, than the rest of the car, but we shall find out in a moment. Let's get a few more bits of this on. The lower suspension arm, I've done that one in the silvery grey, just to try and blend a bit, make it a few options, different colours here and there. Obviously, we've all seen the shock already. That shock looks absolutely fantastic. Slightly different, as you can see, the metal parts of the plastic part with the metallic coating on it is a bit different, but not too bad. Still liking it. We've got the brake caliper. Let's get you on. I've done these in the blue. Actually, that's not bad colour there to there. I'm quite proud of that. Not really much else I can do here. I can't put the drive axles into the gearbox and the main parts in. So that's it there. Oh, well, we'll throw in that intercooler while we're here, so I don't forget that. Let's just double check. Oh, see, that shock against that is absolutely perfect. Very happy with that. I think that looks great. As for the lower arm, it looks a pretty standard colour, to be honest, but I still painted it nonetheless. And the blue brakes aren't far off from that body colour there. Let's move down the back and see what we've got going on down here. So the rear suspension cross member in that blue. And then we've got some alternating parts down here. So this part is in the silver. Then the upper arm is in the blue, just for a splash more of that colour in here. The lower arm down here is in the silver. On you go. And then the arm sticking up out the side, that one is blue. Looking pretty good, I think. Not looking too shabby. I've also done the shock in blue, but I'm thinking about changing it to be the same grey as that shock there, just to be a little different. I may come back to that one in a moment. I'm not 100% sure. I will let you know, obviously, if I change it. And you will see before we move on. The spring cap itself, I've done that one in the black just to sort of separate these blues and greys here, just with a little bit of colour. Looking pretty good. And then obviously the cap on. Let's get this sway bar in. Then we've got the sway bar end link in you go as well. And then obviously that brake caliper. You've already seen it. It's in that blue. Oh, Mr. Bolt, not looking too bad. Let's get that bearing in there. And then the hubcap in the black. Just on you go. Not looking bad. But again, yeah, I think I'm going to change this shock. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to get the rest of it built and then I will make up my mind. Am I changing the shock? No, I think I am changing the shock. So I'm going to go do this now. And I'll see you back in a moment. Just very quickly, I very rarely change colours this often, but I've changed the shock to a silver and the upper arm also to the same sort of metallic silver on there, just to sort of, it was a bit blue down here, and I don't mean a bit sad, I just mean there was a bit too much blue going on. I think that's broken it up quite nicely up there, just with a few little pieces, keeping this one in the blue. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get the other side completely finished off. Let's throw our fuel tank in and a pump while we're here. There we go. Let's get you two in. I'm going to get the rest of this all finished off, and then I will meet you back in the engine bay. We'll take a look at this all completed, and then we'll get on and get that engine bay sorted before we go and put together that beautiful i4 engine. There it is then, all finished, or almost all finished. Still got some drive axles to go in a bit later on, but we will come to that. Looking lovely in this blue chrome sort of silver, and a few splashes of black on the shock caps back there, along with that fuel tank, a lovely black element in there. Looking pretty sweet. I really like that. I think it looks absolutely great, especially compared to the body. It almost matches it perfectly. I really love that. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comments below. I do love hearing what you guys think about this. But let's move on and let's get this engine bay all sorted out. Now I'm going to start with all of the non-coloured bits and just get all of this thrown in here, and then we will talk about some of the colours I have included in here, just to be on the safe side. And I did remember to pick up my battery. Yay! So brake servo, ECU, and then the ABS pump and a module going in here. And that is all of it for the uncoloured pieces, I believe. We'll just have a quick double check. Yes, apart from the engine block, obviously. So for the fuse box, I've gone for a blue. I've tried to match the blue. It's a little bit lighter on that plastic part. It's not a perfect match, but it's not far off. And the air filter base, I did just go with black. I tried to put blue on it, but I had to go a totally different colour blue, and it looked really odd, and I didn't like it. So I opted against it. So we just went with the black, but it's not too bad. Let's just step away and have a look in. As you can see, that blue doesn't quite match, but it's not far off. It's about as close as I could make it. And obviously with the engine bay being in that pretty much silver colour, that doesn't look out of place. You do have the hood, obviously, the underside of the hood in black, so it's not looking too bad. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get the rest of this fuse box finished. I'll get all the pistons and stuff in the engine, and then we'll see you topside building that engine, throwing all of the main colour parts on there. So I'll see you in just a minute. There we go then. Engine block and oil pan are in that metallic black just to keep the colour theme going. Quite liking that. There isn't too much colour you can put on this engine. It's a bit of a shame. But the oil filter is in that blue-ish, hopefully. The power steering pump and the alternator, I just left them in their original colours. Well, the alternator couldn't be painted, but the power steering pump, I thought I'd leave it in that colour. Water pump, even though it's going to be hidden, I went with a blue on that one. And then let's get these rollers on. We do need to put our engine head on. That one is blue, but again, it's only the inside and a few splashes on the outside that actually show up. So it's not brilliant, but let's crack on. I'm going to get this camshaft in just so I can get that cam gear on there and get this front section part all finished off. On we go. Do you up. Throw the belt on. If I could click on it. There we go. Throw the belt on. And then another thing that's going to be covered up is the belt tensioner, also in that blue, just for good measure. But let's throw the timing cover on. That can't be painted. I really wish this was paintable. Just even if I could have made it so it was the same black as the engine bay, I would have been happy with that. But never mind. On with the crankshaft pulley. Let's get the front end completely finished now. So on with the belt and on with the last roller there. We're going to dip under here. We're going to get these fuel injectors in. And now they are in that metallic blue to hopefully match the car. We will see when we get it dropped in. Hopefully it looks good. The intake manifold couldn't be painted. Unfortunately, the Performance Part 1 cannot be. So it is just in that black. But it's a different black plastic than the cover. I'm all right with that one. I wish that one could be painted. Throttle, on you go. We've done that one in the blue as well. Just to keep a bit of splash of that blue going on. Let's move around. Exhaust manifold could not be painted, sadly. Just one of those things. In you go. Turbocharger also couldn't be painted, but they both look pretty cool in their chrome anyway. Looking awesome. Fuel filter, in you go. Let's get that other camshaft in just so I can get this back piece finished off. Cam gear done up. Timing chain on, and then the other cam gear on there. A bit of flickering going on down here. There we go. Let's give that a stop. On you go. And the timing cover, again, couldn't be painted. But at least this one matches the silver of the engine head. So that's not too bad. I'm going to crack on and get all of these spark plugs and camshaft caps in. So I'll see you back in just a second. Just putting the last camshaft cap on now. Looking pretty sweet. This engine is very, very nearly finished. I've just got to get some pictures after I finish it. So let's get the head cover on. Now, these are hard to paint. The blue doesn't seem too bad, but let's see what it looks like. It is a bit of a different colour blue. I had to fiddle with all the colour levels just a little bit to get this one as close as I could, but that isn't far off. I'm quite happy with that. That doesn't look too bad. Let's get these ignition coils in, and that should be this engine finished. We'll have a quick double check around, make sure, and then I'll grab some pictures, and then we'll get it dropped in the Chevrolet Cobalt and get this one all finished off. That's all the pictures done. Let's get it off the engine stand and get it dropped in the Chevrolet Cobalt. Over we go. Let's get you dropped in and see how this looks inside the car. Hopefully it looks good. I spent more time than I should have on this one, really. But let's have a look. That's not looking bad. You've got the fuse box there. It is, again, a slightly different blue. Maybe I should darken the fuse box up a little bit. But I'm going to leave it. It's not too bad. It doesn't quite blend properly with the blue on the outside anyway. Just a splash of a different colour, but that engine head isn't far off. That was the bit I was most worried about, so I'm quite pleased with that. Looking pretty good. Let's get this one up in the air. Let's get the gearbox in. Let's get all the drive axles and things like that in, ready to go. So there we go. We'll throw the gearbox in. I have just done this one in black to match into that engine there. Looking pretty sweet. Front drive shaft, in you go. Now I should be able to put my drive axles in. Thank you. I'm in the wrong place. One there and one there. On you go. And the front exhaust section, bing, bang, bong, and that is all done. Apart from the starter, but I need to do that in the engine bay, so I will sort that in a minute. I'm going to get some wheels done, and we're going to get this car back on the ground. Next time you see it, it'll be all finished outside in the sun. Here we are then, all finished with the Chevrolet Cobalt SS, modded in by Payne under the commission from Kingslowpoke, who also commissioned this beautiful livery to be made along with the alternate colour one. So thank you very much for allowing me to use that, Kingslowpoke, and to Mrs. Kingslowpoke for the other livery as well. Whichever way around, whoever wanted which livery, it doesn't matter. Thank you again so much for letting me use it. This is awesome. Let's have a look around this beautiful little car then. Am I in the wrong mode? I am. That engine, it's not quite as great as I wanted it to be colour-wise. It's just unfortunate what you can and can't do with some of the engines. I still think I made it look as good as I possibly could. Maybe could have added a few little details here and there that I could have changed. I got my starter in blue as well, just for good measure. But not overly happy. Well, not disappointed with it, but could be happier. Still very cool looking though, very proud of it. As for the rims today, I went for the modern 3C rims. I think they look absolutely great. These are the two-tone ones. They're black around the outside. You can't do anything with that, but this blue bit, obviously, you can paint. And I did it in the metallic blue to match the body as close as I could get it. It's not perfect, but it is a very, very close. The front rims here are 20 inches with a 245 width and a 30 profile. I think they look pretty cool. And obviously, you can see the brake calipers shining through them. I really love that feature. At the back here, they are also 20-inch, but these are 275 width with a 30 profile. I was just trying to bring these rear ones out to sort of in line with the arch of the body there. You can see it just pokes out a little bit further. The fronts are a little bit different. As we say, they're a bit narrower, but they still sort of bring out most of the way without intruding too far. I think I've done a pretty good job with that. It's looking pretty sweet. This car looks awesome. There's so many modification options you can get for it. It is looking absolutely great. The twin tailpipe exhausts, different body options you can go for. So if you do want to play with this one, there is a link in the description below to head over to the Steam Workshop and grab this one yourself, or just search for Chevrolet Cobalt. You will definitely find it, I promise you. You won't be able to get this livery or the pink version, but there are a few other liveries on the workshop that you can grab for it that do come up when you search Cobalt. So do that. It is looking awesome. But let's jump in and see what this one sounds like. We have heard the i4 BFM engine before, and it's got a beautiful little turbo. So let's get going. Bit of a spaceship sound. Let's just give it the gas. That's what we want to hear. That is a beautiful turbo whistle. This engine sounds pretty good, I'll be honest. But that whistle at the top end is definitely the bit I like the most. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get this one onto the dyno and see what horsepower it's got. Here we go then, on the dyno with the Chevrolet Cobalt SS, at 257 base horsepower from the inline-4 BFM engine. We have pit performance parts on it today. How much have we squeezed out of this one? Let's have a look. An additional 173 horsepower, a gain of 68%, bringing our total up to 430 horsepower. That's pretty good. Probably roughly around what I was aiming for, what I was expecting, so not too bad. Let's head over and see the gearbox tuning setup we've gone for today. There she is in all her glory. 3.3 ratio, 59-ish in first gear, up to 464 in top gear. All of the ratios down the middle there. You can see them all lined up. If you want to match this one, that's what you've got to do. But let's take this one onto the track and see what speed we can get out of her. Here we are then on the track. Seating positions are a little funny on this one. It seems to be a little far back. But anyway, let's go. This little beast of a Chevrolet Cobalt with its now 430 horsepower, thanks to our performance parts. It's accelerating pretty well, to be honest. Where do we think we're going to end up? I'll be happy with anywhere 350 plus, I guess. Probably about right. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe we're going to smash through that. Heading up towards 300 kilometers an hour. We are in 7th gear now, though. Just gone past 300. Where will we finish? Can we make it to 350? Come on, Chevrolet Cobalt. You can do it. 40, 45, 50, 51. Nailed it. 351 kilometers an hour from the Chevrolet Cobalt. I am definitely happy with that one. 351 kilometers an hour from the Chevrolet Cobalt. Not too bad at all. Pits at 75th in our speederboard out of 117 cars we've done on this channel so far. Pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that. We need to talk about some facts and figures though. I bought the car for 31,217. You would have saw that at the beginning of the video if you stuck around long enough. But I've spent so far a further 52,789 modifying this car, painting this car, getting it to how it looks right here, right now with that awesome looking engine. I do think it looks great. It could be better, but it does still look great. Paying our total spend at 84,006 credits. That is exactly right. Anyway, it's not too bad. Let's jump in and see if we can profit from this beautiful, beautiful little Chevrolet Cobalt from Kingslowpoke. Not actually from Kingslowpoke, but he commissioned it. Payne made it. Still beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, this is the SS, 148,000 kilometers on it. We got it from the auction house. We have now increased that power to 430 horsepower, a gain of 68%, which is actually pretty good from that little BFM engine. But can we make a profit from the sale of this one? Yes, by the looks of that. Sale price of 132,476. That's pretty good. Take away 84,006 credits. Leaves us with a total profit of 48,470, which is actually incredible. Once again, I just want to say thank you to Kingslowpoke for allowing me to use this beautiful, beautiful livery. couldn't even say the word beautiful there. Absolutely fantastic. Good work by French Toast for making it. As always, he always makes fantastic liveries. But it is time to say goodbye to the Cobalt, so off you go. Thank you for the lovely profit. Thank you for enjoying the moment of working on you. Let's see what we've got up next. I don't really know how to pronounce this car's name at all in any way, shape or form. Is it Vuhl or is it Vuhl? I honestly don't know. Vuhl just doesn't sound right. But anyway, we're going to call it the Vuhl for the minute until someone corrects me in the comments. This is the Vuhl 05 from 2016. Beautiful, beautiful looking car. 32,000, nearly 33,000 kilometers on it. We got it from the auction, the Porsche auction house. As you can see, it isn't in too bad condition at all. Did we get ripped off? Yes, absolutely massively. I bought the car for 87,350 and I'm already short 12,975. If we were to sell it, I would lose out on that money right now. Hopefully we can get that to change by the end of the next episode. I'm not sure though. That is a bit worrying. This one does come with the V6, a double overhead cam AKZ engine. I don't think I've worked on this one yet. It's looking pretty cool. Oh, there's an engine cover there. It's actually quite hard to get into the engine. We'll pick suspension and get in there. Yeah, it's looking pretty sweet. I don't honestly think I've ever worked on this engine yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am. I work on so many engines, I'm not sure. But that is looking awesome. I can't wait to get stuck into that one, but that is for next time. Just before we go, don't forget to come and enter the competition on our Discord. Join us on the Discord channel. Have some fun with us. We do have a bit of a laugh on there. You can get help and advice if you need it. But you should join in the competition page. This time, we're building the Del Rey Custom. Design yours, get it uploaded onto the competitions channel in the Red Dot Games Discord server and see if people vote for yours to be their favourite. You could end up on my beautiful pinboard and in the Hall of Fame on the Red Dot Games server. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've all had a wonderful, wonderful day. And if you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. My next goal, I'm trying to get to 250, and I will do a showcase of all the cars I've kept. Maybe some updates, maybe change some liveries, some things like that. I'm quite looking forward to that, but we need to get to 250 subscribers first. Thank you if you can. Please subscribe. Leave me a comment. Give me some suggestions, ideas for the future. What you think of today's build. What you think of the next build. Any suggestions for the next one. Love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, but the best place to find me is on Discord. I am Padwa. I am one of the competition coordinators. It is really easy to find me. So head over onto there. Come and find me. Come and say hi. But thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. You